Meeting session is now being recorded. Welcome everybody to our 21st Century Best Practice webinar for January 26th, 2016. Today we have Jesse from the Council Bluffs Community School District presenting on evaluation tools and practical strategies. I will turn it over to Jesse. Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you. We talked about this in our evaluation committee meeting, and so it was mentioned that this may be something good to discuss in a best practices webinar. So here we are, and it's pretty simple, pretty quick, so there will be some time for any questions or comments and how maybe if you wanted to apply something like this in your programs, how that could work. So just to get started, some of the ways that we've best been using the Google Forms has been with our evaluations, and that's been with our surveys that we do. We work with the staff that do the after-school programs. We work with our community partners, also with parents and students. We provide surveys to all of those, and we used to do them really as the programs go through. And that was monthly at one point. I'll get to that later, that sometimes too much isn't always a great thing, turning people off to filling things out. So if you are familiar with Google Forms, the link on the Google Forms how-to, that's a link there that you can go to see how you can use Google Forms, how to start a Google Form and get it to be a survey format. It's a great way that we've found we can create user-friendly surveys for all of those parties that we serve and that we want to hear feedback from. Another great thing is the instant feedback. It puts it all into a Google Sheet where we can sort it however we would like to see it. Google is great with, you can also use what they call summary of responses, and they quickly put it into graphs, pie charts, so that you can see where different things were successful or maybe need some more attention. So that's been really helpful for us to see as a program across the board where we can improve things and also where things are going well. So that's something that's been great for us to use. I'll get to another point later on where we used to not handle our surveys in-house. It was something our external evaluator handled, and again, that instant feedback is something that we really value because it wasn't getting to us as quickly, so the problems that would maybe be on the feedback there we couldn't address as quickly as we would like to. So, on the student survey example, I have what is an example of what we use for surveying our students. If you wanted to click that link there, and you can create your own copy and edit it as you would like if it's something you would like to do with your students. It's great. Again, goes right into a spreadsheet where you can see the different things that they're liking, disliking, different ways. We ask a lot of different kind of questions that we'd like to know what kind of strengths they're using in after-school programs. So just an example for you to see some of the ways that we collect information here and something that's already put together for you too. And of course, you can definitely edit a form to put a picture of your program up there or however you would like it to look. There's so many different ways to use forms and make them really tailored and customized to your program. So as far as data collection goes, and when these transferred over, some things are missing there at the bottom, but what we've learned so far as best practices go, using multiple unique fields such as their student ID, their first name, last name, different things like that really help for when we're compiling all of that information together to provide an annual report of feedback and different areas where we've hit, as far as parents go, if they would encourage other families to participate in after-school programs, different percentages like that of what we would like to see, people encouraging others to be involved in our programs. So it really helps that you can, again, once it's put into that sheet where you get the responses, you can really verify, I guess, for lack of a better term, that and compile their information over the entire year and see the whole picture. Another thing is the timing. Like I said, we were doing monthly surveys, and that just was overwhelming our students and our parents, and of course staff as well. So we've really gone towards bi-monthly, which also follows our programs run about 6 to 8 weeks. So once that September and October together, November, December, and so on and so forth, it's just a better way to get a bigger picture of their feedback. And also we like to see more involvement in our surveys as a result of asking them less often. So another place that we ask for information is from our community partners and our staff who are running the after-school programs, which is our school teachers mainly, or our paraeducators. And we've gotten to even less asking them for information because it varies so much on their involvement. So, and again, we know how busy teachers are. So quarterly is how we ask for feedback from them to see what things went well, again, different things that we can address. That's been getting to see a little more involvement there when changing that. Again, like I said, last year we asked them to do it monthly, so it was low participation getting information back. Another point is anonymous isn't always best. Yes, we want people to be honest and feel that they can do that, but it also helps to have their contact information or more information in general in order to problem solve the situation, or if it's something that we really need to address, then we need to know a little bit more information. And that also goes with that first bullet of when compiling all the data throughout the year to see a whole picture, getting that ID number from them or their first name, last name, different things like that is very helpful instead of just having them fill out an anonymous survey. And one of the things that we do as 21st Century programs, the teacher surveys, we learned kind of late last year that we should have collaborated more with the teachers as far as the timing of when to survey them for that information. And then we also noticed that they suggested, actually, the teachers suggested even being able to fill out the survey as a team about each of those children is really helpful because, again, it gets more of a whole picture instead of just that one teacher's perspective, which is a little bit more challenging because you're taking up that team time that we need from them when they are together. But again, it really gives us more of the whole picture of that student instead of just the student's homeroom or advisement teacher filling it out according to what they see. And that's something that we are lucky to have here is, at least in our middle schools, the students have a homeroom teacher or advisement teacher that they see at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And that's been really helpful with our club programs as far as getting different information to them during that class time and helping to have that a little kind of buffer at the beginning and end of the day with that same teacher. So again, some of the different things here we would really like to see. Hopefully this will help with others learning from kind of our mistakes last year and best practices that we've found so far. So as far as collaborating all of this data together, some of the things that we use include PowerSchool, which tracks our district's information as far as attendance and any sort of data that we have on a student. Another way that we use PowerSchool to track students involved in after-school programs is by creating courses in there, and it's an extra class on the end of their day where we can see the different things that they were involved in, and then we can also pull that information by group, see if any kids that were involved in 21st Century overall, their different assessment scores or achievements that they've, how that has changed throughout the year, and over time tracking that as well. And it's great to connect our after-school information and involvement with the school district's information. SuccessLink is another thing that we will be using more in the future, and that is involved with community organizations that maybe Boys and Girls Club or 4-H Club or something that we don't necessarily provide as an after-school club or activity, but the students can be participating in it. For example, recreation programs that city recreation facilities. Hopefully, again, it has to do with everything that they're putting into that system. So any information that's provided by the community can really help us see where other kids are being involved. Maybe they're not as involved in much after school, but they're involved in 5 or 6 things outside of school within the community. So being able to see, again, that whole picture. Youth services is also a way that we track our attendance and demographic information that we just pull from PowerSchool and place into youth services. It's another great way that we can easily pull our participants' contact information with various filters applied so that we can create a group and survey them. For example, when I send out all those surveys to parents and students, I simply can pull a report from youth services and they and what we do is I can see from this date range anyone who attended a day or more, or if I can put any kind of parameters on it that I would like to see. And then I have that group that I can easily then mail merge. And the way that we use mail merge, we use Google Drive for our district. So we purchased the Yet Another Mail Merge application. And that's, again, at the bottom of this screenshot. So I'll also share the slides with everyone. But Yet Another Mail Merge is a great way in Google Sheets to send out any type of mail merge or email listing. They also have added where you can make the email look a little prettier and more attractive. So that's been helpful because we can try and attract students to give us their feedback. So that's been another great thing that we've added this year. Again, there is a small fee, but I think it's definitely been worth it. So. Onto our program registration. This is just another way that we use Google Forms. It's not necessarily an evaluation tool, but it's just another practical strategy that we have where we use Google Forms to have kids sign up and give us an idea of where they want to be. The 2 different ways we do it for our elementary schools, we list the activity options and they get to prioritize their choices for that day. Our middle schools is the CD Dreams, and that way they sign up and it lists the activity for each day and they select which they would like to attend. Again, it puts it onto an Excel spreadsheet and you're able to easily filter it the way that you need to so that we can place students in with different groups wherever they may go, or quickly see, you know, when they signed up, because it'll timestamp it as well, which that's really helpful. And these examples are links to an example of that sign up. So you can easily, again, make a copy if you would like to and start your own if that's something that would easily be applied to your program. So one of the other things that we've implemented and will be using is the activity observation form. And again, using Google Forms, we've created this option for when our site coordinators or director wants to go through and just observe a program and see how things are going and make sure that we're providing quality programs. It's just a simple form where we can quickly, again, timestamp when we went through, how things are going, any notes and feedback, just another great way to provide feedback to our staff as well as site coordinators or anything like that to see how things are going and where we can improve. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free.
Thank you, Jessie. At this time, I'll go ahead and stop our recording so that we can see if anybody has questions.